And we are live. We are ready again for our fourth season, season four of Live with Venice. I am your host, Venice Irving. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for sticking by me over the years as I try to get information and resources to you, our teachers, parents, students, and even the administrators too. All right. So I want to say a huge shout out to all the teachers, especially the teachers from my group, the Happy Teachers Online Club. You guys have been great, fantastic. You guys have contributed to the platform. You've spoken to me. You've texted me, WhatsApp me. I stopped doing videos a couple months ago, and you've been saying, "Hey, when are you coming back with the videos?" I am back live and in living color. So thank you guys for reaching out to me. I tend to take a break sometimes, especially in the summertime, just to recuperate and to get back in the groove again. And this year, even really since last year, it has been a trying time for everyone. And for me personally, too, it hasn't been easy, but by the grace of God, I'm pushing through. So keep me in your prayers, keep the program in your prayers, keep the club and the group and the company in your prayers as we try to move from strength to strength. So today, in our first episode, we have a lovely lady coming to speak to us about how you can pivot your profits in the new school year. So teachers, have you been struggling financially, especially during this COVID-19 season? Have you been wondering where you need to go to get more investment or to make your money work for you? Well, this is the lady to speak to. Her name is Miss Dennise Williams, and she is here with us to tell us more about what we can do to pivot your profits this school year. Dennise, welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much, Venice, for having me on.
No problem. It's a pleasure to have you here. And just tell everyone all about you. Introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, well, all right. So my name is Dennise Williams. I am a financial success coach. My website is www.financiallyfocusedmedia.com. What is the purpose of that website? It is to help you multiply the money you're already making. And, spend some time on the website because I know a lot of people are in emotional and financial distress and feel like it's not possible. But I am here to tell you, I have the clients. I know it's possible. I've lived it. And, it's a reality. However, on the other side, recognizing that people are struggling with their debts, I am also the president of the Caribbean Credit Repair Association. And we train persons in what we believe is a recession-proof career, which is credit restoration, helping persons to navigate through the credit and the debt issues. Because there's really about 12 strategies, taking 3 pathways in order for you to get from under this burden. And that's what we train. But what we are here to talk about today is an upcoming webinar series, I should say, starting next Tuesday coming and all the Tuesdays in September, which is called Pivot Your Profits. We are going to have a rotation of 4 awesome ladies talking about how you can pivot your profits. We're going to look at really 4 different buckets of profit generating ideas. And we really want you to, understand how you can take this COVID-19 period that has hurt so many people in many ways, health, economics, just you name it. Take this time to come out on the other side better. That's really what it's about.
That's a huge mouthful, Dennise. We're going to take it bit by bit so that people can get the information that they need.
Can I share screen with you? Am I permitted on this platform?
I'm not sure if you are permitted.
I
I'm
am.
not sure. You are? Okay, go ahead and see if you can share the screen.
Okay.
But
That
as,
is
as you share the screen, what I want you to do is tell people a little bit about this
okay.
CCRA,
Yes.
your new association that you have
Yes.
created and formed, right? And
Yes.
what was the reason why you
Okay.
started this association?
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. When you take a loan, right?
Mhm.
So think about the process. You get a loan from the bank and you go about your merry way. And then something happens.
Mhm.
Life gets in the way. In my case,
Right.
my son was born with a hole in his heart, and
Oh,
he had heart valve. The heart valves didn't go the way they're supposed to go. They were like crisscross. Then he had, respiratory issues and just a variety. And so you're in and out and in and out and in and out of the hospital, the
hospital.
doctors, the cardiologist.
Right.
He's on the ventilator. You run to the doctor for sometimes this doctor don't take credit cards. So you have to use cash. That's the supermarket money. So then you have to run to the
Yeah.
supermarket with the credit card. And then you're going to do this and then you get to that. And then one day you wake up and boom, you have this massive bill.
Massive debt.
But that they won't finish with me. Somebody then I went to the gas station and what the bank explained, they cloned my card
Oh my
because within
goodness.
7 days, because this is how they tracked it back to the gas station. 7 days after going to the gas station, there was a big splendiferous wedding. And they went to the bridal boutique, they went to the dress shop, they
I'm
went
not
to
laughing.
the hotel
This
on
is
the north.
unreal.
They went clearly they went to the supermarket to pay for the food, right? Because it was like 5 times what I spent at supermarket was the bill.
Oh wait, I tell you,
And
say, wait,
listen, no,
hold on.
it was when
So
you realize,
you were a part of this, what you call it, identity theft, credit card
yes,
theft.
so you realize when
What?
you're under stress, you get more stress. You understand?
Right.
More stress and stress. Okay, so I'm at the bank
I can't believe
going
this.
through all of this, trying to determine what's my medical expenses, my credit
Right.
card, supermarket, and somebody wedding. Okay, so you're going through all of this. Now, of
Wow.
course, there is protection. So I didn't pay for the once we identified the wedding stuff. I didn't pay for that.
For that, right.
But the experience was humiliating. The experience was disgusting.
What,
And
didn't you
then
feel violated? Like somebody come
it
take your
was no,
things?
it wasn't
Somebody
just
come
the
take.
violation of
Oh
the
my
credit card.
goodness.
It was the humiliation of having to pick out, yes, I spent this at the supermarket, yes, I did. It
Oh
was that.
yeah.
Then no, it didn't finish. It didn't finish because then this is where I was introduced to the credit report. Because
Oh,
after you went through all of that with the bank, you realize your name is trash. You cannot get
oh,
another
you have a
loan.
low credit
You
score.
can't get another loan. And so
Oh
it
my
took me
word.
1 year of back and forth and
Wow.
letter and visit and letter and visit to get the items off of my credit report. Okay?
Wow.
And I'm like, hold on. Hold on. First of all, I'm not the only person going through this.
We'll go through it. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Not the only person. But I realized there was no help for me. There was no assistance for me. Okay? So here I am working in the banking sector, understand investment, understand all of this,
Right.
but on the debt side where life lick you, there's
Mhm.
no support. There's nobody in the bank's job is to sell money. The bank's job is not to
Exactly.
counsel you through this stressful
The
time.
bank's job is to put you in debt.
Okay. So but guess what? Then you realize who is in the debt space.
Right.
You have your
Right.
bailiff and the collections people, the
Mhm.
collections people from the bank, the bailiff, what the bank will hire, the lawyer, what the bank will hire. Yes. Who is for you?
Wow.
When I was going, who was for me? Nobody.
Nobody.
So that was a few years ago, and it was always on my mind, bothering me because what could be done? Because you just, of course, people call me because a lot of the people who hire me to help them do more with their money, right, had debt. So I was working on the debt side, but again, I never felt satisfied that there was enough support out there.
Right.
And then COVID hit.
Oh.
And yes, the banks give you like a 3 months moratorium, and but
Yes.
people were in shame, people were humiliation. And where do you turn to? Where's the support? No support.
Wow.
And then I said, no, man, I have to do something about this because people are suffering,
Yeah.
and we want to bring dignity. Because no matter that somebody owe you, them is still human. Okay, they're human. And so we wanted to bring dignity to the whole debt situation.
Right.
And so we realized that in the Caribbean, the laws for credit is different than in the United States. So I give an example. In the United States, every 7 years, if you have a large debt, it will drop off. You still owe the debt, but it will drop off your credit report, and you can go and get a new loan to restart your life.
Right.
Our laws do not provide that.
So it will be on your report forever?
For the rest of your life.
Oh my word.
Okay, there is no start over on the credit report. And remember, when you are going to the bank, that's what they ask for. And this has been the law since 2011. Okay, this year is going to change because what was happening, persons were running from the commercial bank because their credit report was not wonderful and going to microfinance. So they were prepared to pay the high interest rate because they need the money now. But guess what? Law change. This year, the Microfinance Act says they have to report to the credit bureau. So there's no escape.
No matter where you go, you still have to get the credit report.
Right. So the credit report is going to follow you for the rest of your life. But now we need support. Now we need an association to give people support. So what are we doing? What we're doing as a membership association is we are partnering with some heavy people.
Yes.
So the stock exchange, the Jamaica Stock Exchange, their e-campus will be hosting our training. And so persons who go through the Jamaica Stock Exchange e-campus training will be certified credit restoration. Because the truth is, anybody can wake up and say, I'm going to do credit restoration. Anybody, okay? But are you dealing with someone who is certified? Are you dealing with somebody who's been properly trained? But we haven't stopped there, right? Because we are also partners with the University of the Commonwealth. So we have a training program with UCC. So you essentially have a choice. The Jamaica Stock Exchange or the University of the Commonwealth, your preference. Both are online platforms. Your certification will either come from UCC or JSC through the CCRA, and automatically when you finish your training, you are a member. And we provide support to our members, counseling, helping them start your business, because the vision is to go have everywhere there's a bank, there should be a credit restoration office beside it, so that every community in Jamaica, you don't have to travel to Kingston. Although, yes, we are online, but our culture, we still want face-to-face. So the vision is that our members, our students will have their offices right across the island, and persons, because they're certified, okay, through two major educational organizations in this country, the customer is confident they're dealing with somebody who can truly help them. Yes.
All right. So teachers, are you in debt?
Yes.
Teachers, somebody
Wow.
run you down for their money.
Yes.
Hello.
No, but let
Here
me
is
say right
Dennise
here.
Williams here.
This is not escape. We do not train persons. We're not offering don't pay the money. Let me be
Right.
clear. We're saying there are strategies to work through
Right.
the debt.
Right.
Okay, there are strategies. I give an example of a client who
Mm-hmm.
has $8 million in debt.
That's Jamaican dollars.
Yes, 8 million Jamaican dollars in debt, and she don't know if she'll come or she'll go, and it's just circumstances drive
Right.
up that money. We're working with her to negotiate. So everything starts with pulling your credit report. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you pull your credit report, and we start the analysis, and then we write to your bankers. Now, what's the difference between, because you can write yourself, so we're not doing anything that's rocket science, but what's the difference between us writing for you and you writing for yourself? The language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are not emotionally invested in the debt. You
Right.
usually are writing from a space of, oh God, this bad thing happened to
Yes.
me, me stressed, me frustrated. The banks don't respond to that. You won't get the response you want because they're a business. And so hiring a credit restoration specialist means that it's one business talking to another business. Okay, it's the emotions are out of it. And because of our experience, you get a better result. You will have to pay your debt. Let me be clear. So we are not saying our service gonna eliminate your debt. No. Our service gives you support in
Mm-hmm.
getting through this phase of your life.
All right. Teachers, you hear that? So Dennise is here to talk about 3 tips that we can give to teachers who are currently in debt or finding, just like you had a client there that owes $8 million. Sometimes they throw in the water and tell you if we sink or swim. Because
Yeah.
when you're in debt, you feel like you're drowning sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
So give us some 3 tips to the teachers here. A
Right.
platform now.
Okay. So the very first tip, pull your credit report, because many times there's errors. I have had clients in which Student Loan Bureau has reported sums of money they don't owe. There is no document to support that they owe $10. What they owe is 5. So
Right.
there's sometimes you pay. Do not believe that every time you pay, it's recorded. So if you don't pull your credit report, which you're entitled to the free, because remember we have 3 credit bureaus, so you must go get the 3 reports.
Mm-hmm.
Do not believe they're error free. I think that is the most important thing. They are usually filled with errors. And if they are filled with errors, that means you're paying for debt that's not yours. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure you are not paying for debt that's not yours. And remember, you can be every month sending money X to the bank, but your credit report doesn't reflect that. So there's human errors, computer errors.
Right.
So that, to me, that's nothing starts until you have your credit report. So that's number one. Right? You need to get your credit report. It's free, and you want to look through it. You don't want to pay for debt that is not yours. Please add that with my clients, please. Second tip, equally important. When you are doing a salary deduction, find out what date the money actually reached the bank. Because you get paid on the 11th, and you are going through your whole life thinking, I get paid on the 11th. The salary deduction is gone out of my salary on the 11th, which means they reach the bank on the 11th, and I am good. Listen to me. The late payments go on your credit report.
Okay.
If you are paid, and you know I'm just making up a number, right? But for the argument, if you are paid on the 11th and you think your salary deduction is going to the bank on the 11th, be sure it may be true. But what if it don't reach till the 30th? And your credit card or loan or mortgage or NHT is due on the 15th. So you get paid on the 11th. Your money, your loan is due on the 15th. So you think between the 11th and 15th, the money hit the bank.
Right.
Are you 100% sure? Are you?
That's an interesting question.
So I'm not saying it's happening or not happening. I'm saying in the same way you need to pull your credit report, because that's tip number 1, to make sure you are not being penalized for debt that's not yours, or human error, or so. It's the same thing you need to check on your salary deductions. Make sure you know the date that it is reaching the bank. Okay, these are 2 simple, easy, free things that people are overlooking, and it don't hit you until you want to get another loan to go do something else. And then you're like, oh. Okay, number 3. This is also free, important, and maybe the hardest one. You can't control people. And let me give you an example. I have a client who is a joint owner of a piece of real estate, a house, with her estranged spouse. She has been using high interest loans to carry her through a particular period. She's now up to her neck. Her car is no good. She wants a new car. She cannot get a new car because she's up to her neck in debt. So she has the idea to say, let me borrow against the house, because that's what the bank said. You have a house, borrow against the house, clear off your debts, and then you can get the loan, right? Because now your monthly payment will be low because the mortgage is lower cost than microfinance. Yes? So it sounds great on paper. Here's a couple problems with that. Although the bank is correct. A mortgage is cheap because the collateral.
Right.
Number 1, it's an estranged marriage, and 2 people need to sign the document.
Oh.
My client is enraged that
listen, this spouse not gonna want to sign that.
You can't control other people. Cannot control other people. It cannot. Wow. You cannot build your financial life with other people like that. You have to take responsibility for your decisions. But also, so she has all of this anger. I remember saying it's coming from before, kind of other issues in the marriage.
Yes.
But she's feeling the pressure because of debt. Okay? I want to stop right here, move from the debt side, because most of us are drowning in debt because our income sucks. Simple.
True.
So I want to go over on the financially focused. Remember, I have 2 brands, financially focused and Caribbean Credit Repair Association. So I'm dropping in the chat, in the comments. Sorry, thank you. We got here Davine Hall, and all right. I want to put in the chat a free money map. Okay, am I?
All right. Put it in. I'm gonna ask.
Put it in. I'm gonna put it in the private chat, Betty, and then you cut and paste.
I'll copy it. Yes, put it in.
I'm putting it.
And for those who are waiting, I want you guys to make sure you click share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, like and follow us wherever you are right now, and make sure that you hit up Dennise. I'm gonna put her information at the end of this conversation. So follow us until we're finished the chat, and then I'll put her information right at the bottom of the screen so that everyone can know where to get her, how to contact her, and how she can help you, uh, decrease your debts if that is what she can do, or help you to sort out your life, your
No,
financial
because
life.
remember, debt is the fruit. Debt is the fruit of the tree. In fact,
Right.
what's the tree? The tree is income.
The tree's income. Talk
The
about
tree
the
is
streams of income for the teachers. Wait.
right. Now
We want
here's
to
the
make some
thing.
money.
So we have coming Tuesday, inviting everybody to log in. Venice will also share that link.
So
Tuesday.
hold on, Dennise, what date is that on Tuesday? Tell
It
me
is
again.
the 7th of September, 6 p.m.
It's 7th of September, 6 p.m. All right, go ahead.
Right. So what we're looking at on Tuesday coming is to say, look, there's many areas, but we want to pick four that's going to allow you to keep your substantive duty as a teacher, which is very important to the nation, but grow. So Venice is going to talk about her area, which is stay in your yard and teach abroad, right?
Absolutely.
Then we have, you know what? We have Dennise, Venice, and then Bridget. Then we have Dennise Marshall Miller, who will come in on the 14th. So this is a 4-week interview series. So
Right.
every week we're bringing in. So Venice will be with us for the 4 weeks. She'll be sharing different aspects. We have Bridget Buckner, who's going to be talking 4 weeks on FX trading. Okay.
I need to learn a little bit more about this FX trading. I've been hearing about it, and teachers, I know you hear about some of these terms. Some of them come to me and say you want to invest on stock exchange. Some of them, I don't even know what to tell you guys to start when it comes to stock exchange. Dennise is the perfect person to talk about those things.
Right. So Venice is teaching abroad. Bridget is FX trading. Dennise Marshall Miller is going to talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, the stock market, the bond market. And then I am also going to be talking about how to plan it out. Right. Because here's what it is. Now, I am offering a free money map. At the end, Venice will send you my email. Once you give me your email, I will email you the free money map. But what is this map? It's going to help you find at least, or I should say at the most right now, $15 million or US $100,000 in assets. Because guess what?
I thought it was 15 million US.
Well, you still reach there. But here's the thing. A lot of us are so emotionally battered, we can't see where. So let me tell you just quickly how this money map came to be. I was in family court for 3 years. And the thing about court is everything the other party know about you is a weapon.
Yeah.
And it became, oh, you're a working mother, that means you don't love your children. And I took that so personally that my income dropped. And I'm a writer first, before I got into financial planning. And I started to write out my feelings and journal and really look at, well, why did my income drop? Why was I frozen emotionally for this? Let me tell you something. Courthouse are the nice thing.
I'm telling you.
And I started to realize that these different areas of income, I was hurting.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken. And it's like, as I became heartbroken and hurting and shamed, my vision shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink. I couldn't see anymore. Even though I knew what to do on paper,
Yes.
I could just write it up, but I couldn't see because my heart was breaking in the process. Yeah. So I decided to create this map so that if anything ever happened again, and I find myself going back into that unhappy, emotional space, I could jump in this workbook and get myself going forward. And so I said, you know what? I need to share that with my clients because I cannot be the only person hurting. I couldn't be the only person going through some drama in their life. And so that is where this money map is coming from, and I want to share it with you. But I'm not stopping there, because your savings and your debt is brother and sister. Yeah. Brother and sister. And so I have on my financially focused website, again, Venice will share the link. I have a free 21-day challenge to increase your savings and decrease your debt. So I'm putting you to work for 21 days. We're giving tips. You're going to have an on-demand video. You're going to have workbooks. It is work, but we're grinding out the different areas. We're looking at your income, your investments, your savings, your debt strategies, and your career. Right. So in those 5 areas, we are going to give you tips and ideas and discussion and conversation for 21 days. And the reason it's so long is because 21 days is what it takes to form a habit. And if you are feeling stuck, and you decide you're done with this life, you want better, this is the 21-day challenge that's going to give you support. Gonna give you support.
All right. So Dennise, you're talking about the 21 days. We looked a little bit on your webinar coming up, Pivoting Your Profits. I want you now to talk to the teachers out there, those who are wanting to become financially literate. Can you tell me what financial literacy is and how can one now become financially literate? Say, for example, I don't really have debt, but I'm not a good money manager. So money is coming in, income is okay to a certain degree. I'm not investing, I'm not saving, but I want to become more financially literate and put my money and let the money work for me. Tell me a little bit more about how I could do that.
Okay, so the first thing is the mind. You have to agree. Just have to simply agree. Because a lot of us grew up, money is the root of all evil, or
we love money too much.
You love money too much, or you are unworthy, unworthiness, undeservedness. You were formed in iniquity and shaped in sin, and everything wrong with you. And because we are carrying this burden that we're no good, we're filled with wrong and unworthiness, and there's nothing to love about us, the money shows it. People say, don't tell me who you love. Don't tell me who you care for. Show me a budget, and I will tell you who you care about. I will tell. So I love my children. Okay, how much of your money goes to your children's development? I love myself. How much of your money goes to taking care of yourself? I love this. How much? Just show me a budget. You don't need to tell me who you love. I can look at your credit card statement, your bank statement, your savings statement, your investment, and I know who you love. So if you don't have an investment account, I can tell you say you don't love yourself. Okay. If your savings is limited, I can tell you say you don't love yourself. Okay. If you are,
those are bold statements.
I'm confident of that statement. Confidence. I have counseled enough people to know a person who tells me they care about their family legacy. You see it in their investments. They have insurance. They've bought a property. They've done the things that in case they drop out, their children are okay. When you tell me you believe in family legacy, I can see it. You have an insurance policy. I know you believe in family. I know you love your children. I want to also know you love it. You have a will. I know you love your children. These are I don't need to hear. Same with a man, right? You love your wife. Okay, let me see a bank statement. Very simple. It may be hurtful.
Hello.
It may hurt people, but you can know who somebody loves. So saying all of
Hold
that,
on, now which man I gonna show you in bank statement?
you don't have to show me, but you can know. Because if he's spending his money on his car, the most of the money is going to repair the car every month or add this to the car. You know him love. It's very simple. It's hurtful. And people don't like when you call them out in that way.
That's true.
Right? You
That's
don't want
true.
to mash up marriage and people is happy with their delusion. But you can know. Right? You can't just know. Right? Okay. So that said, you asked about financial literacy. So now we're looking at first agreeing to love yourself. Many mothers will run and spend up bags of money on an insurance policy for their children and no critical illness for themselves. They will borrow how much money to send their children to the best school and don't have no retirement plan. They will do a lot of activities that build up other people but not themselves. Because remember I said how you spend is who you love. And if you're not spending on yourself, insurance, retirement, owning property, you don't love yourself. So the truth is financial literacy is the most physical manifestation of self-love there is. Okay? Because sweetie, the child can get a loan to go to school. You cannot get a loan to retire. Okay? No work so. There's no loan. None. So self-love, and that's a hard concept, especially for most of us who grew up in environments that tell you you are unworthy, that you are undeserving, you fall short. Yes, you're born in iniquity and you're shaped in sin. And so to love yourself is an entirely different mind. You're going to become a different person when you fall in love with yourself. You're a different person. There's certain people that's going to drop out of your life naturally because now you love yourself. Many of us, the reason when you look at a debt, especially on the debt side, you can see how relationships go because many of us are in romantic relationships where the person says, I'm cold. I need you to light yourself on fire to make me warm. Right? We're in relationships with toxic people.
Listen to me. This is some good points dropping. Thank you, Melissa. Mackenzie, for saying some good gems dropping. Dennise, what up?
Yeah, we are in I mean, I know. I give a story. So I am an approved financial counselor with the Office of Insolvency, and what that means is before the debt has grown so big, before the person can be taken in front of the court, they have to do 6 counseling sessions with me. That's under the law 2015 Insolvency Act. So I'm one of there's less than 10 of us in Jamaica. And so the court calls you in and you basically see what's happening. So I give a situation where the gentleman convinced his mother to put up the house as the collateral, his mother's house. His mother was a 68. To put up the mother's house as collateral for the loan. He then convinced his baby mother to use her income to service the loan. His business then fails. That puts stress on the relationship. And so he finds a new relationship. Okay? So, as with any reasonable
person. This really sounds like a Jamaican man.
With any reasonable person, the baby mother, she stops servicing the loan.
But of course.
The bailiff comes to the mother now, the 68-year-old mother, to say, well, we're going to take the house. Because no one's paying on the loan. Okay? And this is the back and forth for about a year. What has announced that before the matter goes to court and the judge signed for the house sale? Wedding. So Now the gentleman is marrying his baby mother. All of a sudden, mortgage start pay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that love? Don't know. Just saying.
Marriage of convenience, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just simply saying, a lot of times when you look at the debt, same way I can look at your savings and investments and see who you love, I can look at your debt and see what kind of things you tie up into emotionally. Because a lot of times it's rare. It's not like somebody come to me and say, oh, I borrowed to buy 10 house and main problems. That's usually not the case. I have another client in, St. Thomas who in a relationship for 16 years. He was earning more. He was contributing, taking care of the three children. But somehow, I feel she run up $10 million debt. I feel like she says she feel like she'll never get out from under debt. So I'm saying if the relationship brought in almost $2 million a month in salary between the two of you, and when I say St. Thomas, I ain't talking about no liquor, pian house. I'm talking about a estate. They live in acres of land and big house, so it's nice. But it's his house. Her name is not on the title. He's migrated, go buy a house in America already within 1 year of the relationship breaking up. And she's in this beautiful home, afraid that when the last child turned 18, she have to come out. And she have $10 million in debt, don't own anywhere for herself. And he said, so how come you got into debt? Well, because it was his house, I felt it was my responsibility to buy all the furniture. Then I needed to do a car. Then I needed to, and it just emotional reasons pile up.
Right.
So a lot of times, in order for you to come out of debt, you do need financial literacy. But in order for financial literacy to work, you've got to embrace self-love. Because financial literacy says, I love myself so much, I'm going to do better with my money.
Yeah.
I'm going to face that I have this debt. I'm going to work on strategies to clear this debt. And I am going to invest. And here's a key point I want to make sure everyone gets. Working through this debt situation, put 180 days in your mind. Person comes to me and says, listen, I need to know how to clear my debt right now. I'm not the person to help you. There's no right now. There is no right now. Not in the world I have lived in for 20 years in financial planning. There's not no right now. It's about 180 days.
Wow.
There's behavior change, lots of letters between you and your financial situation, and changing how you relate to money. That's one of the reasons why I love workbooks. I love workbooks. I know that on the Financially Focused website, there are lots of workbooks for you to download. So I love that. On the Caribbean Credit Repair Association website, that is training. You can take the training for yourself. If you don't want a recession-proof career in credit restoration, you don't have to work for other people, and you don't have to have a business for yourself, but you can learn the techniques and do it for yourself. So training is so critical. So critical.
All right, Dennise. So basically, if somebody wants to see how best they can do, just start up their financial wellness, they can first make sure that their mental
you have to be
capacity
ready.
is
You have to be ready
right.
yourself. You have got to be ready.
I like that little thing that you talked about, loving yourself and making sure follow the money, and how you spend your money will show you who you love. You know,
Yeah,
that is very important. I never thought of it before.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to
You
start
getting?
following my
I would
money.
say that if I were counseling a young couple, and I were saying, if you guys are ready to get married, I would say look at the bank statements. That's gonna tell you what the marriage is gonna be like.
Yeah.
That's alone. Because what will happen if somebody say, I don't have a bank statement? Well, get ready to be the breadwinner in the relationship, and if you're okay with that, no problem. That's good for you. But I can say I've seen where that gets grinding after a while. It does.
All
So
right.
it's important to, it's important. So even if, and you may be in love with someone who did not grow up with financial literacy, I would then recommend, before getting married, 6 months of training and exposure to financial
Financial
literacy.
counseling.
Yeah, because things are gonna come up, things are going to come up, because him cute and him nice and she pretty and she wonderful, she's a great cook, and then you find out she's a shopaholic and I'm gonna run up your credit card. So
And can you talk a little bit, Dennise, about
yes.
things that we, as not only women, just people in general, our spending habits and how that actually mirrors the family that we grew up in? Because I realized that I spend like my mom, and I had
Yeah.
to unpack whatever I had taken from my childhood. What I see my mom and how I see my mom spend, and how I see, and I had to unpack that and for my own thoughts and my own, what you call it, opinions on how I spend my money, my own rules on how I spend my money, and not take on the baggage from the past generation. Do you understand?
Okay. I want to say something might be controversial to some people.
Sure.
A couple of things. So I know I learned how to fry chicken from my grandma. And my grandma came, her, and she learned to cook from her grandma. And that her grandma lived in St. Elizabeth. Okay? And so my grandma come from Trenchtown and then raised me. So I can probably say that my cooking style then would have been influenced by somebody in St. Elizabeth. A lot of us forget that we are influenced by our grandparents, who are influenced by their grandparents, who are influenced by their grandparents. Now, along the journey, there was the point where we were slaves, and that's uncomfortable. And then before we were slaves, though, we lived in, for some of us, an African setting, others of us an Indian setting, a Chinese setting, a European setting. And then a lot of us, there's that mix. Okay? So the spending habits we have today, you think is yours.
It's coming down
It's
from
not
the
yours.
generations, right?
It's not yours. You are not spending. You are programmed how to, as you said, you think you're spending your mom, it's not your mom. It's your grandmother's grandmother is how you spend. Okay? So say that. So what does that really mean? It means most of us are unconscious on how we spend. And how, the test? Supermarket cash register. Most of us pick up stuff we like and then get to the cash register. I didn't realize I spent this much. Oh my God, what is this? And then you might too ashamed to put back, or
No, not me. Hello.
Yeah.
I stopped them right there. I said, listen, put it back.
Right. So the unconscious spending is usually, you can see the evidence in the supermarket. That's usually where we don't see it nowhere else. We'll see it. If you don't see it anywhere, you'll see it in the supermarket. Okay. Now, Dawn's asked a question. I'm going to get to you in a minute, Dawn. Okay. So,
hi, Dawn.
You are unconscious majority of the time. Again, that's why I love workbooks. Financially Focused Media is filled with workbooks. Email me. Venice has posted the email. I'll give you the first free one. Okay. I am a lover of 100-page journals for money because why 100 pages? Because let me tell you, the habits are ingrained in your bone marrow. They're ingrained in your bone marrow. And therefore, in order to dig them out, I'm giving free 21-day challenge, and I'm giving a free workbook. And we have on the website 100-day workbooks for financial crisis, for and the crisis could be death in the family, natural disaster and such. We have an investing workbook. Right. We have an income planning workbook, because these 100 pages, 21 days, these things are going to grind. They're going to make you uncomfortable so that you can develop a new you with money. Guys?
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question. What if I'm the kind of person that don't really like free? Well, I like free things, but if I get the workbook, I may not have the discipline to stick with it. Is it possible for me to hire you as a consultant and maybe pay you a small fee?
Absolutely. And in fact, let me
see how much time she said absolutely.
My coaching. Yes. I love working privately because you know why? I find that once somebody is prepared to pay, and I'm not cheap, when persons are prepared to pay, they are ready. They're tired of the way their life is. They're absolutely, they've hit the point where they've had enough, and they're ready to pay. And they're ready to work with me one-on-one, and they're ready to do the work. And let me tell you, I give my clients homework. They get journals, they get work, because what we're doing, we're unraveling the bad habits that you've gained from your family. We're unraveling the bad habits that you pick up from work. We're unraveling the bad habits that you pick up from your friends, okay? And so,
or from your spouse.
From your spouse.
Because spouse influence is supposed to know.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm excited because I wasn't ready to say, but since you're drawing me out, I shared with you my private coaching, and as I said, not cheap. However, we are launching a Financial Success Academy membership. Okay.
Right.
And that now, what you will get is over 30 courses on money management and financial planning. And that now is going to be a very affordable $97 a month, that coaching. And you just keep going. You get your workbooks, your videos. We have a Facebook group where you can ask me questions once a month, and we do our deep dive. So for the people who want group coaching, we'll have our membership. And that one, as I said, $97 US a month, very affordable. But if you want the private one-on-one, I'm available. And I can tell you, you make more than your money. And I give an example of a client who, when we started last year, and she said, paying me was a stretch, a real stretch for her budget. She was sitting on her home and believed that her home was worth $19 million, and, very depressed because she's not seeing growth. And what I do for my private clients is I, give them access to my network. And so I got her property valued at no cost to her. Her house is worth $55 million. And in fact, with the information that I shared with her, her neighbor sold the townhouse. She said, but Dennise, my neighbor, who's my best friend, is leaving. I told them what the house is worth. They immediately put them property for sale. I said, so there you go. There you go. That one wasn't finished there. Just like that. We then started working on her career because a lot of things weren't going right with her career. We did a career assessment. She realized she had 3.5 million in gratuity that she did not access. Okay. Then we looked and did her NHT benefit. She have 2.5 available. Okay. Then we went through her insurance and she had all this cash value and insurance.
Right.
All of a sudden, we have $8 million that she can now pay down on a second property. Right? Boom.
Listen, this is Dennise
Boom.
Williams.
Now
money manager.
I want to answer Dawn G.
Yes, go ahead with Dawn.
Investing versus saving in a bank. Well, here's the thing. Inflation is the answer. Inflation is the rise of prices. So if you think about your parents, if your parents are still alive, ask them what they could have done with $100,000. Okay? And what can you do with $100,000? That is inflation. Inflation eats the value of your savings. If you invest properly, and I teach a course on 7 recession-proof investing strategies using 41 categories in the stock market. So you know when to buy, you know when to sell. So we look at everything from housing, stocks, retail, agriculture, technology, aerospace, transportation, as I said, 41 categories. And so my students know not only the Jamaica Stock Exchange, but the New York Stock Exchange. Right. And you can buy those companies sitting right here in Jamaica. So I'm not teaching foreign students, I'm teaching local students how to invest here or there.
Well, darling, you know that Dawn is in Australia.
Well, so there you go. And let me say to you, Dawn, that you don't need to be a citizen of Jamaica to invest in Jamaica.
She is Jamaican, but she's
okay. I just wanted to like to tell people that Jamaica is one of the few countries that allows non-citizens to invest. Okay. And additionally, for Jamaican citizens who think, oh, I can't invest overseas, that's not true. There are several Canadian options here in Jamaica, and the several, as I said, New York Stock Exchange options. So the globe is
Trinidadian options too, right?
That's right. So the globe is here. Now, in terms of the specific question, investing versus saving. So savings, you're going to get a fixed amount. The purpose of a savings account. Oh, yes, Donnise, I'm still a citizen, right? So the purpose of a savings account is to make sure you have like 6 to 8 months money so you can pay your bills. Okay, you want to be liquid so you can pay your bills. But investing is for growth and for the long term. I want to give a stock that I like a lot. So the Sterling investment. Now Sterling is selling for like 3-4 Jamaican dollars, pennies, right? But what is special about SIL, Sterling Investment Limited? If you invest in Jamaican dollars or you can buy the stock in US, either way you get your dividends in US dollars. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because a lot of other stocks that you buy Jamaican, you get your stockings. You get your stock dividends in J dollar. Nothing wrong if that's what you want. But why not get best of both worlds?
Right. Well,
so that's a tip I would.
I shall be buying some SIL later. It's all right. Listen, Dennise, we're going to wrap up now. But Dennise, we were talking a lot, and the term financial discipline just keeps on coming back to mind. Many of us are not disciplined with our finances. Like you made the example of going to the supermarket, and when you reach the cashier and you see the amount of money, you wonder, what is that money I'm spending? I realized, personally speaking, that I didn't really have much financial discipline, especially when I first started working and earning on my own. When I left college and I went abroad and I got my first job abroad, I was making very good money. As you know, foreign exchange. And I was just spending, traveling, spending, and I had to just regroup. I said, wait, why are you spending so much? I started asking myself these questions, and then I had to look within myself and decide to be disciplined. So I go to the store, I go shopping, I ask myself, do I need this? Is it a want or a need? I had to ask myself these questions and develop that discipline. What say you? Do you think that's a good strategy? How can teachers, as we wrap up, how can teachers develop that financial discipline that we need?
Okay, so let me answer this as a journalist, because I am a journalist. I don't write for the newspapers anymore, but I did for many years. And journalism is very
similar. And you had your TV show.
Yeah, but in the newspaper, journalism is very similar to teaching in that it's an altruistic career. You're not in it for the money. You're in it for the love. You're in it for the giving. You're in it to help people. You're in it to your pay is what they call psychic money, and you're happy to see other people prosper. Yes, so the journalist is excited when their stories make a difference in society. Everybody get excited because you bust a new story. Or the teacher, she's paid when the student fully understands what the concept she's coming across. So the challenge with altruistic careers is that nobody supports you. And you feel eventually you reach a point in your career where you feel like you're drained and you've been giving, and nobody's giving back. Here's the deal with altruistic careers, which is the unfortunate side of them. Because you're not in it for the money, you don't have it's like you're psychologically trained not to want anything for yourself. So if you're a high-powered, sharkish lawyer, say after you're done, you make your big money and you're stressed, you go get a massage. Yeah, and you pay for a massage. Or you are a fashion model, you have to look good, so you pay for plastic surgery, or you pay for a coach, a fitness coach to make sure you stay a size 0. So you're at your high earning careers, you have to pay people to support you. At your low earning careers, you feel like you see the paycheck and you're like, oh God, this is just enough to feed me. I can't pay for support. And so you don't even think about it. You don't try, you don't think, you don't search. I'm coming back to self-love. There's no discipline happening if you're depressed, if you hate yourself, if you are in a toxic relationship, if you go into the classroom and your heart feel like stone. There's no discipline, okay? There's no discipline. Nothing I tell you about money management or debt management will penetrate the heart if you are weighed down. Right. So before you talk about your money and your debt and stuff, you've got to figure out how to get care, okay? You wouldn't have a student come into your classroom wounded, bleeding, and you keep teaching like nothing is wrong. But you have a heart that's wounded and bleeding, and you get up every morning like nothing is wrong, everything okay. How does that work? How long, even if you've been doing it for 20 years, how long can you carry a wounded, bleeding heart? How long? That's my question. And I think that's what's come out of COVID. The wounds and the bleeding emotions and that's what's manifesting in your money. And so I would say if you don't have the money to pay for coaching, speak to your counselor, speak to your pastor. There's a lot of kids they say they're suffering because they don't have guidance counselors. Find a Facebook group that's supportive and that you can talk to.
Happy Teachers Online Club.
There you go. Please find support for you. Okay? I know you worry about your family, your husband, your children, your wife, your mother, your cousin, your students, this online. We're going back Monday. Tomorrow is online school and this, all of that. I hear you. Take time for you. Take time for you. Let me show you me. I am an artist. And see me here, this is never far from me. Never far, because I color. I draw as my stress relief. I love a coloring book. So Venice, I know she'll get me a coloring book for Christmas, right? and I like the coloring books with patterns, you know, because I find the complex patterns to like a meditation, and your mind just focusing on coloring the pattern, did not think about nothing else. Right? That's my meditation. That's my self-love. Okay? So I would just plead with teachers to the best investment is in caring for yourself. Right? The money will take care of itself. The debt will take care of itself. Yeah? But if you don't take care of yourself, that's the first discipline. Right? So if you stay like me, get the nice one, right? So much color I have to choose from. Oh my God, I love it. Don't get the small box. Get the big box, right? And take care of yourself.
Yes.
So that's the discipline. That's what I say.
All right. So you've heard it here, live and in living color with Miss Dennise Williams. She's given us a lot to think about, a lot of gems that she dropped in this conversation about how you can be financially literate and financially empowered as a teacher for this new school year. She has a webinar. I'm going to show you now the webinar. Thank you so much to Miss Dennise Williams. Let me take her back on so she can say hi to everyone. So thank you so much, Dennise, for coming on and to just dropping a few gems that's in your brain. Listen, this woman, let me tell you, you want to turn around your money? See her here. You want to know about investments? See her there. You want to make how much? $15 million? See her there. So make sure you hit her up. Her email address, I'm going to put it again. It's in fine writing, so I hope you can see. It is financiallyfocusedtv@gmail.com. You can ask her about the free workbook and anything else that you want. Ask about your heart's desire. She's here to help you with your financial wellness.
Yes, you know, because Venice and I come from far. We want to make sure take care of the teachers. We want to make sure that you listen. As I said, let me come again. Self-care, self-love. Drop your questions, and I can tell you, no matter what question you ask me, I'm going to give you back the same answer. What are you doing to take care of yourself first?
Yes.
That is going to be, because it's important. So many people
start taking care of ourselves.
Oh, Lord, listen to me. Self-love, self-care is like your daily shower. You don't say, I love myself today, and it's just permanent. It's like you didn't bathe today. I expect it to last you for the month. It's every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Yeah.
All right. I feel empowered and I feel ready just increase my finances, increase my investment, and to help others. Remember, this platform is to help people. We are here to help each other. So if you know of something, if you know of maybe a stock, see, Dennise just told you about Sterling, that you can go. I'm going to go there right now after I come off and go get some stocks. Right now, I say. Right, so don't feel shy and keep the information to yourself. Help each other. That's what we're here as teachers to do.
Please,
that's why
listen, share the 20. Listen, we have free resources. If Venice allows permission, I will I will send you the image for the free 21-day challenge.
Yes, and put it in the group.
And you put it in the group. It's free. Okay? And I feel like this is going to really empower you. We reinforce the strategies every day. Make the commitment to do it every day. It's about half hour to an hour of your time every day. But you can't lose. You can't lose.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope you learned something. Join us on Tuesday and every Tuesday for the month of September as we talk about how to pivot your profits. And of course, remember to continue staying here. Keep it locked to Dennise Irving page and Happy Teachers Online Club, where I come next week with another person to interview about how you can either get jobs online or increase your profits or get more money, whatever it is we're talking about. Remember to keep on supporting us as we support you through it all. Thank you again, Dennise. Love you like cook food.
Thank you, Venice. Thank you. See you on Tuesday.
I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.